yo, listen, I got a secret to share with y'all. I know exactly what's going to be in Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. Because guess what? I was able to sneak in to the super secret board meeting at Avengers Tower. And I heard all the crazy characters that was mentioned. That's going to be in this game. So I'm going to report to y'all like Peter Parker reports to the Daily Bugle. And I'm going to post this story whether J. Jonah Jameson likes it or not.
You serious?
All jokes aside, I just wanted to make this Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls prediction video because Marvel Tokon's gonna have a booth at EVO, and I have a feeling they're gonna probably reveal a new character at the EVO event. I mean, why not, right? To get the hype going and everything like that. I haven't seen any Tokon prediction videos. I want to throw in my 2 cents to see, you know, if I was able to call it and stuff. But I'm gonna break it down into 2 groups. The first group is safe picks, and the second group is shot in the darks. I don't know, type, you know, we'll see. But I feel like they might make it in the game. So these 10 characters I feel will make it in Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. Alright, starting at number 10, I decided to put 2 characters at number 10 because these 2 characters are so popular. It's almost insane for them not to be in this game. And I put these 2 characters there because these 2 characters share something that Captain America, I could say, and Spider-Man share, and Iron Man too, I feel like, who are already in the game. These characters have been in pretty much all the Marvel tag team fighters outside of a couple. And these characters are Wolverine and the Hulk. Of course they're going to be in the game. That's why they're in my safe pick category. Because Hulk's been in pretty much all the games except for the X-Men related ones. Like X-Men vs. Street Fighter, because obviously Hulk's on X-Men. And then X-Men Children of the Atom. All these Marvel Capcom-ish games, Hulk's been in pretty much all of them except for those 2. And Wolverine especially. Wolverine has been in pretty much all these games except for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. So Wolverine and Hulk, 2 of the most iconic Marvel characters, of course they're going to be in this game. Who we tripping here? Of course. Berserker Claw and Gamma Rush? Of course they're going to be in this game, y'all. So let me not talk about that anymore and we move to number 9. And that is Sentinel. I think Sentinel's going to be in this game. I think the devs over at Marvel Tokon are going to have a very fun time with Sentinel. His track record speaks for himself in all the past games. They brought him into Marvel's Capcom 3, Marvel 2, Children of the Atom, all those Marvel Capcom games. I feel like Sentinel's a safe pick because he's a big old robot. I feel as if devs over at Marvel Tokon will have fun giving him the cool robot drones attacks and all those cool kicks, rocket punch, and his mouth beam moves. I think they're gonna have a fun time making Sentinel in this game. So I think he's a shoo-in. Number 8, we got the Winter Soldier. I think the Winter Soldier's gotta be in this game because they're a very popular Marvel Cinematic Universe character. You know, you got him and Captain America on screen and all the cool Avengers movies and stuff like that. He was in Marvel's Capcom Infinite, so the devs over at Tokon has some reference there. And also, Marvel Rivals just boosts his popularity even more. His iconic line in that game.
Armed and dangerous! Again! Again!
We have Spider-Man, Captain America, and Iron Man. You throw a Winter Soldier in there, you got a team that's Captain America Civil War themed. That's dope, ain't it? Those 4 characters could be in one team, and that could be Team Civil War from the MCU. That's all I gotta say with Winter Soldier. Let me move on to number 7, my favorite X-Men, Gambit, Remy LeBeau. I'm gonna say Gambit is one of the most popular X-Men, and the new Deadpool movie made him so much more popular with Channing Tatum's brilliant performance with that character.
You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
He's gotta be in this game, either at launch or future DLC. I have a good feeling that Gambit will be in this game, and he also has a track record too. Well, the other Marvel games that's been around, like Marvel 2 and X-Men vs. Street Fighter. Gambit has a track record. He's been in these games, so the devs over at Marvel Tokon have something to work with. They can see him in action doing the crazy roll flushes and the cage hit strikes. I feel like Gambit will be a shoo-in in Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. Now moving up to number 6, and that is Psylocke. I think she's gonna be in this game as well. She's super popular in Marvel Rivals, or I want to say that game made her even more popular. And she's got a new comic book that's, I think it's on issue 10, I think, or it's issue 9. So, and Psylocke also has a track record in some of these games, like Marvel 2, you know, and X-Men Children of the Atom, and all those other games. She's a popular character in all those games as well. So, I definitely see Psylocke being in this game. Cool Japanese ninja. She got really cool moves from the old games. Her side thrust, her side maelstrom, all these cool butterfly motif moves make her stand out easily in this whole roster. And that's it for my safe picks. Those are my 5 safe picks. Before I get into my 5 shot in the darks, I wanted to make an honorable mention, but this is not no ordinary honorable mention. I call this honorable mention a certainty. This character is absolutely going to be in this game. That's why I just left him to his own little category of absolution. I'm so confident he's going to be in this game that when I mention his name, you're going to be like in the comments going, duh. This character, none other than Deadpool. Of course, Deadpool I absolutely see being in this game. It's Deadpool, the merc with the mouth, breaks the fourth wall all the time. You know, he's also been in Marvel's Capcom 3. Super funny character, so unique. He's got very unique moves. I think the devs over at Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls will have the most fun with Deadpool, if anything, because they could be as creative as they want. And you can already see from just the clips we had from Marvel Tokon so far that this game looks amazing, and they're very creative with their character designs and the stages and just the overall design of the game and how it's, you know, comic book style of the UI and all that stuff, the interface and everything like that. I think that there's so much fun with Deadpool.
I get to cover the next Street Fighter for this, right, Capcom? Right?
Alright, so coming in at number 5 for my Shot in the Dark category is Quicksilver. I think Quicksilver would be a really cool character to put in the game. The only game I've seen Quicksilver in that's fighting game-ish is Marvel Contest of Champions, where he's just zipping around the screen and stuff like that. And characters like that move really quick, like speedsters, you can even look at Injustice 2 or the Injustice games with characters like the Flash. Those developers did a good job of showing extreme speed in the character and how quick they attack and the move sets that came with it. So I think the devs over at Marvel Tokon will have a good time with Quicksilver. You know, he's really popular in the X-Men movies and stuff like that. You know, give him a cool costume, you know, give him quick jab attacks and just really speedy moves, you know, that will really set him apart from the other characters on the roster. So I think Quicksilver will make it into this game as well, either as future DLC or even in the launch. Coming in at number 4 is Cable. I think Cable will be a cool character. You know, he's got the big old Hyper Viper gun. You know, he's a time traveler. You know, there was actually a cool move he had in Marvel's Capcom 2 where it's called Time Slip, and an after image of him would come out and start fighting the opponent. And I thought they could, Marvel Tokon and the devs in them could actually do something like that in a modern way. I just feel like they could give Cable some next cool tech. You know, he's got this, you know, technical virus arm and stuff like that. All these cool things about Cable that I think Marvel Tokon could use to make him stand out as well. I know it's kind of a shot in the dark a little bit because there's just so many characters to pick from the Marvel universe. There's so many characters, and I always thought Cable was such a cool character. He's only in Marvel's Capcom 2 from all the, you know, Capcom fighting games that Marvel has been associated with. So, you know, Cable's got to come back, you know, and, you know, make his grand return in the modern day 2026 or whenever this game is coming out. I forget the dates. But yeah, I think Cable should make a comeback. I'm calling it. You heard it here first, or in any other prediction videos. Anyways, moving on to number 3. Now this one's you know, this character is a little like we I don't think we've ever seen this character in anything other than, you know, the Spider-Man game or like TV shows, I guess. But she's a little bit not as, you know, recognized, and I think that's why I'm bold enough to put her on my list as well. And that's Silver Sable. I think she's really cool. You know, she's got a lot of guns and artillery. She fights really well. I feel like it'd be a bold move on Marvel Tokon's part to add her in, because, you know, she's just so obscure. I think she's not super popular like the rest of the characters I've mentioned already, right? In fact, if anything, what made her popular recently was her addition in the Spider-Man game. I think it was the Spider-Man game for the PS5.
Super strong, pretty sensitive to heat.
I have an idea.
I solemnly swear to do whatever you tell me to.
I will call soon.
She's such a no nonsense character. She's really cool. She might be able to. She might play like something like Deathstroke from the Injustice games, where she just keeps shooting you maybe. And she'll have like cool. Maybe she'll have some cool like joint holes and stuff like that. Like kind of like I don't know, like Nina from Tekken, stuff like that. So I'm thinking, when it comes to movesets, she could have like a mix of shooting projectiles and like joint locks and stuff like that to show her martial arts skills. So I think she would be a really cool, bold move, for Marvel Tokon devs to include her in and, give her some really cool new stuff to play with when it comes to, her movesets. Coming in at number 2 is Mystique. I think Mystique would be a just absolute bombshell of a character to throw into this game. Why, you ask? Because she could turn into other characters. She's Shag's son. She could turn to other characters, and you could use her, turn into Spider-Man, turn into Captain America, turn into Storm. That dynamic, if done correctly, would be so interesting in a 4v4 matchup. I think Mortal Kombat is the only game where characters transform into other characters in a fighting, setup. I think Mystique would be a very, very she's got a cool look to her. She's also got guns. So you could also mix in, like she might be like a Trish character from Marvel's Capcom 3, but also transforms other characters. I feel like the devs over at Marvel Tokon could have fun with her too, with her design, white and blue with the red hair, movesets, and then also the biggest thing is her transforming into other characters. I feel like they'd have a lot of fun with that. Like it could even be like, oh, I just remembered. Oh, there's a character I forgot. Spiral from Marvel's Capcom 2. I forgot about her. She does a move where she transforms to every single character in the game, and it's the coolest thing ever. They could do something like that for Mystique, easily. They could do something like that for Mystique, where she could just, it'll be like a move she has like a level 3 or something, where she just does all of the characters like level 3s at once or something broken like that or something. I believe that Marvel Tokon has the ability, the whole team has the ability to do something spectacular like that. That's why Mystique is so high on my list as characters that I feel like we're making in this game. And I threw her in the shot in the dark because she can be a little complicated, but I feel like she will do a really good job, like making this game sell in terms of like uniqueness within the characters. Now, my last character on this list, he's another blue character, to give you a hint, and he's another X-Men related character, and that's Nightcrawler. I feel like Nightcrawler is super cool. I don't know too much about him. I just know he can teleport, so teleporting is one of my favorite superpowers of all time. To be in another place in an instant is one of my favorite superpowers of all time. Just look at Goku with the instant transmission, or Raiden from Mortal Kombat teleporting all over the place. I love teleporting characters, and Nightcrawler's teleporting has this cool effect to it. The purple cloud and all that stuff. Bamf. And I think Nightcrawler would be. I think Nightcrawler. I think he's one of the. I know I put him in the shot in the dark characters, but I feel like of all the shot in the dark characters, I think he's the most likely to be in this game just due to his uniqueness. He also has a sword. He also has a sword as well, which is wild. But I feel like, with the teleporting, with the sword and stuff like that, I know other characters, there's probably other characters with teleporting-esque abilities or something like that, but I feel like Nightcrawler has just such a unique look to him. He's a blue elf-looking dude who uses his tail too to attack because he's a mutant, right? He uses his tail to attack with a sword. All those cool little things. So I feel like Nightcrawler could do something similar to that, where the devs at Marvel Tokon could implement you know, all his unique abilities, his uniqueness to really set him apart from the rest of the roster. And he can teleport to this whole, teleport all across the screen, which would make him hard to catch. So it would be a very, very spectacular addition, in my opinion, to Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. So that's it for my predictions video. What did y'all think? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. And please like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Let me know in the comment section if you guys like this video. Let me know if you guys agree with some of my picks. And even let me know if you guys disagree. It's all in good fun. We're all just speculating until this magnificent game comes out. So with that being said, I will see y'all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching and staying to the end. Let's have some fun discussing the predictions in the comment section. With that being said, I'm out. Peace.